Join me as I dive into the challenge of discovering the signs that show God is answering our prayers. Trusting in God's plan is essential for any believer, as it allows us to have faith that everything will work out for our good, even when we can't see what's ahead. Doubt and frustration often creep in when our prayers seem to go unanswered. We wonder if God is even listening or if He's abandoned us. These feelings can be overwhelming, making us question our faith and the point of praying in the first place. Prolonged periods of waiting can be especially challenging as we struggle to understand why God isn't responding. It's easy to get caught up in our emotions, feeling like we're not good enough or that our prayers aren't worthy of being answered. In these moments, it's crucial to remind ourselves that God's ways are not our ways, and His timing is perfect, even if it doesn't align with ours. We must maintain our faith, believing that God is at work in the background, even when we are unable to perceive it. Our prayers may not be answered in the way we expect, but that doesn't mean God isn't at work. He often uses our struggles to refine us and make us stronger and more reliant on Him. The Bible is filled with examples of prayer and God's responses, each one unique and tailored to the individual's needs. Abraham's faith was tested when God asked him to wait for a son, and Moses' prayers were answered in a dramatic display of God's power as He parted the Red Sea. These stories demonstrate that God's answers can come in many forms, sometimes immediate, sometimes after a long wait, and sometimes in a way that's completely unexpected. What's important is that we learn to wait patiently, trusting that God's response will be perfect. Waiting on God allows us to cultivate a more profound relationship with Him, to learn to listen to His voice and trust in His goodness. In these waiting moments, we learn that faith is not just believing in God, but believing He is good, no matter what. The biblical account of Joseph's life is a powerful reminder that God's timing is perfect. What seemed like a series of unfortunate events ultimately led to Joseph becoming a leader in Egypt, exactly where God wanted him to be. God's timing and responses are perfect, even when we can't see it. The Bible assures us that all things work together for our good and that God is always working toward His perfect plan. This truth is reinforced in Romans, where it says that God works all things together for the good of those who love Him. We can trust that God's plan is unfolding, even when we can't understand what's happening. The beauty of God's plan lies in its complexity. It's a tapestry woven from countless threads, each one connected and intertwined. We may not see the full picture, but we can trust that every thread is carefully placed and every event is meticulously orchestrated. As we trust in God's plan, we begin to see the world in a different light. We realize that every experience, every struggle, and every moment of joy is part of a larger story, one that's being written by the Master Himself. The beauty of God's plan lies in its complexity. It's a tapestry woven from countless threads, each one connected and intertwined. We may not see the full picture, but we can trust that every thread is carefully placed and every event is meticulously orchestrated. As we trust in God's plan, we begin to see the world in a different light. We realize that every experience, every struggle, and every moment of joy is part of a larger story, one that's being written by the Master Himself. Trusting in God's plan brings a sense of peace and assurance, knowing that He is always listening and working on our behalf. If you've been struggling with prayer or wanting to deepen your faith, share your thoughts with us in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our other video on how to strengthen your relationship with God.